Hi, I'm Ray Tatter. Thanks for tuning in. LiveWire is coming up on cable TV, and we're going to be talking with Pamela Whitehead, who is the executive director and founder of the Triumph Cancer Foundation, which is an organization that has a single mission, and it's to empower cancer survivors to recapture their lives after cancer treatment through physical fitness. So stay tuned for LiveWire right after this. Hi, I'm Ray Chatter, and I want to welcome Pamela Whitehead. Welcome to LiveWire, Pam.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, Bex, our producer, wanted to do this program because she's looked at service organizations during this COVID impact and really has found out that a lot of them are really not there. They're stopped in doing. Your organization hasn't, and it does what it does through all of this time, and even now is providing programming in a number of ways. So tell me about that decision. What happened? You thought, oh my goodness.
Well, in March, we made the decision to actually pull our participants out of our partner fitness facilities before the shutdown even occurred. Our biggest concern was the safety of our participants because cancer survivors, a lot of them have compromised immune systems. And so we decided to hit the pause button for a couple weeks to think about how we could reformat our program to make it something that was safe and effective for our participants outside of the gym setting. And subsequent to us pulling them out of the gyms, they shut down anyway. So we had a few weeks to strategize. We originally rolled out some video content just to keep the groups that were already in session active while we figured things out. And then we went on to a virtual platform with Zoom and using it in a very different way to be able to continue to deliver our services. And we were able to complete that first trimester that kind of went through the transition phase pretty successfully. And our next classes are already in session and they are completely 100% in the virtual platform. We do hope that at some point we might be able to have some of the classes meet in parks, but right now the temperatures are a little bit too high, so we don't want to do that. And so we're continuing in the Zoom platform for the foreseeable future. We just, as an organization, have made the decision that we won't go back into the gyms until we deem it to be safe.
How did you hit upon the mission to provide an organization that is given to helping people who are coming out of treatment after all of that? You were walking down the street one day and you thought, ooh, I've got an idea.
Well, 20 years ago, I was walking into the doctor's office and I heard the words, "You have cancer." And that's what was the impetus for starting all of this. And the same year that I got my diagnosis, right before me, my mom completed treatment for breast cancer. And within a 5-year span of my diagnosis, I had a total of 5 other members of my immediate family were diagnosed with different types of cancer and different treatment plans. Mm-hmm. And there was one commonality in the whole thing, and that was when the treatment ended, all we received were doctor's appointments and the next doctor's appointment, but there was no guidance given to how to kind of regain your life again. There's somewhat of a common misconception amongst people that once you've completed chemo or radiation treatment, everything goes back to normal and your body's back to normal again. Well, that's not the case. And there was nothing available to help any of my family members. And I started walking first, and then I started riding a bike. And I was doing a lot of work with the Livestrong Foundation because I was looking for an organization at the time that would be as somewhat of a support group for me. I was 35 when I was diagnosed, and there aren't many people in that age category, especially 20 years ago. I couldn't find anybody to really experience the whole cancer survivorship thing with. And I was a uterine cancer survivor, which is even more difficult to find somebody in my age bracket at the time. So I was involved with Livestrong, and I really liked their whole philosophy of survivorship. And because of getting involved with them, I started riding a bike, and I saw the benefits of how it not only made me feel better physically, but emotionally. I felt like I was getting back some of that control in my life.
Philosophy of survivorship. I like hearing that, and I want to know how that evolved. How did it evolve? Now, you've been doing this for a couple of decades.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that things have changed, and then maybe you could touch upon the programs.
Yeah. So back then, that word survivorship wasn't really that commonly used. Now people embrace it, and our whole philosophy is that you become a survivor on the day that you're diagnosed. And so we really work with our participants to instill in them that feeling of being able to regain and recapture their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot more support out there than there was when I went through my cancer treatment. But there's still nothing like what we offer in terms of an exercise focused program available in our area. So I saw it as an opportunity for something that I wanted to provide to the community. And so 15 years ago, actually 16 years ago, I started creating the program and launched it 15 years ago in October of 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And since launching the Triumph Fitness, which is our signature program, which is a 12-week program for survivors, we also have rolled out a couple of other types of programs that are offered to graduates, and other survivors can participate in different ways.
We'll look at the little video of some of the other survivors you brought. Okay, let's have a look at them, because I think it touches on just what you're saying right now in terms of the value of this kind of program
Mm-hmm.
in our community. So here we go. Let's have.
Triumph Cancer Foundation serves adult cancer survivors in the Sacramento metro area. Not only as a survivor did I want to create this program, but as someone who just wants to give back in the community, it's something I really wanted to do. And the reason that I've stayed involved is because of the people I've met who've gone through the program. I hear each of their stories. I've met every single person who's been through Triumph Fitness. I'm there at orientation, I'm there at graduation, and I've seen how Triumph has helped them, and it's something I'm really, really proud of.
The way cancer affected me, both emotionally and physically, is it just knocked my socks off. I lost my energy, I lost my motivation, I didn't know who I was, I didn't know quite how to come out of it.
When I was undergoing chemotherapy last year, it affected me in many ways. The main thing physically was how weak I got and how I wasn't able to do the things that you take for granted doing. Not being able to do things physically really leads to emotional challenges.
Cancer affected me by having it the first time. I lost 25 pounds. I lost all my muscle mass, and it really took a toll on me.
Triumph helped me not only get physically fit, but it helped me get a zest for life again, and it made me want to help other people. I'm 72 years old, and I feel like I'm 35 again. If I can do it, you can do it.
I would not be able to.
Wow, if I can do it, you can do it. So tell me now, how is it a weight loss program? Does it cost to participate? Is there a waiting list? How do I how
Ooh,
do
so
I take part in
question.
it?
Okay, so it's not a weight loss program, it's an exercise program. One of the benefits may be that people may lose weight, but some people may not lose weight because you're gaining muscle mass at the
Muscle
same.
man. Mm-hmm.
The program is offered, Triumph Fitness and all of our programs are offered at no cost. That was one of the things that I was pretty adamant about when I created this program, because being a survivor myself, I know the financial ramifications of going through a cancer diagnosis, and I didn't want having to pay for our program to be a hindrance for somebody to be able to enroll in the program. So that's why we, over the years, we were a nonprofit and we raised money, and it's all been provided by the generosity of others who are able to provide this program. And so in terms of how somebody can enroll in our program, so to be an eligible participant, they need to be an adult cancer survivor. We take both men and women of any type of cancer. They should be no more than about 18 months out of treatment. And one of the key components is we're looking for people who have truly been impacted by their cancer treatment in terms of loss of stamina and strength and muscle mass. And so because our program is the whole idea behind it is we're helping people to learn how to exercise safely and efficiently and effectively. And our team of instructors, what sets them apart from other fitness instructors is they're all cancer exercise specialists. So they know specifically the challenges that a cancer survivor may face because of the treatment they've been through. And so it's a really important component, because there are issues that a survivor may face that it takes the right kind of person to know how to modify the exercises properly, and also to have the empathy to work with our population is really important. So we have a really wonderful team of instructors that guides our participants through the 12-week program. And so the other thing, of course, is that survivors need to get permission from their physicians to participate, and they have to be willing to commit themselves to the 12-week program. We have the classes meeting twice a week for 90 minutes, and they're in, and I'm going to call them locations throughout Sacramento, because we used to have, of course, physical locations. We still kind of denominate by location, because if we have people going into parks, we want it to be kind of near where they live. But it's on a trimester basis. So right now, our summer sessions are in progress, and we are actively looking for survivors who have just wrapped up treatment in the past year or will be wrapping up in the next month, that are looking for assistance in regaining their strength and stamina. And the way that they can learn more about our program and to inquire and fill out the inquiry form is to go onto our website at triumphfound.org. And that's what starts the whole process. And
there it is on the screen.
yeah, it is a simple website. And it basically, once they get on there, you can read about all of our programs, and there is an inquiry form that they just fill out, and we ask some basic information about their cancer history. And that kind of starts the whole process rolling forward to having them go through to see if they'll be a good candidate for our program.
What about people who are have cancer and are on chemo treatment for life?
So that is a different component of things. So generally, when someone is going through active treatment where it's chemo that might be they're on a cycle of every 3 weeks, and it just like knocks them down for a week, or they're going through radiation, we need them to have completed that treatment before they can apply to go through our program. But there are some types of cancers, such as multiple myeloma, for instance, where it's almost considered to be a chronic disease now. And there are instances where people may be on a low dose chemo treatment for life, but it doesn't impact their ability to beyond that chemo and to be able to go through an exercise program. So we look at everybody on a case-by-case basis. We ask a lot of questions to determine where they are in their overall treatment and when it's an appropriate time for them to go through our program. So there are people who are in a more subtle kind of treatment plan, which, you know, infusions and things like that, which we will welcome them into our program.
I don't know
That's
if
part
yeah, go
of a
ahead.
pretty process in terms of assessing people to make sure that they're an appropriate candidate.
Good, that's important. And also, I noticed that in some of the photographs and things, I noticed people marching and hiking and doing all this kind of stuff too. It actually builds your overall stamina to do this. Do you have those kinds of things? And how does that balance out with COVID?
So in terms of the exercise program, right now, the COVID question is a really good one, because while I knew in creating the program the benefits that I could see from exercise for cancer survivors, over the years, the research has shown that it's one of the most important things you can do, exercise, is to reduce your chance of recurrence and to improve your quality of life. Well, COVID hits, and cancer survivors are considered to be one of the vulnerable populations because of compromised immune systems. What does exercise do? It boosts your immune system. So our program is especially essential now for us to keep delivering our services, because we're helping that portion of the population that is considered to be vulnerable, to arm them against the coronavirus. So for us to be able to, you know, continue offering our services is essential. And so you mentioned the hiking and things. So I'll just talk a little bit about the programs that we have. So Triumph Fitness is our 12-week program. It's our signature program. And it's the one that everyone usually, that's where they enroll first.
Right.
When somebody graduates, we don't just set them on the curb and say goodbye. What we always say when somebody comes into our program is that we're welcoming them into the Triumph family. And our whole goal is to instill the concept of exercise as a way of life going forward, so that you're proactive, you know, in keeping yourself healthy for many years to come. And so we have touch points and opportunities for people to engage with us even once they've graduated from Triumph Fitness. We have what we call Triumph tune-ups, where people get together a couple times a year. It's usually 3 times a year. We'll pick one of our fitness facility partners and use their Group X room, and we invite back graduates, and we'll have like 30 or 40 graduates all come in and exercise. Well, of course, that's not happening right now, but what we are going to do in September is invite our graduates to meet us in a park, and we can do that and break up into groups with our instructors and do that. We also have our Team Triumph activities, where we select 5Ks throughout the year, and we have our graduates and other supporters wearing our Triumph shirts and participating in 5K events, and we do training for it ahead of time, our Triumph to 5K. This is actually at Shamrock, and it's an event that we're the beneficiaries of, and we have a huge team at this event.
Shamrock
happens in March, and this is another event. But see, these are our participants, and this woman is a graduate of our program, and she's been running ever since she graduated, and she comes back every year and participates. And it's really great to get people together and see them crossing finish lines. And it's very inspiring to see people kind of set these goals even beyond our 12-week program that are just amazing goals. And so that kind of segues into the event that is starting for us on Saturday, which is our Triumph to the Summit hiking program.
Oh, if somebody wanted to take part in that, is it too late?
Not necessarily. They would have to contact us through the website right away to get more details. But it's something where, so we do this every summer, and it is a fundraiser for our organization, but it is an amazing experience. And so what we do is we organize hikes throughout the summer that happen every Saturday. And the final hike goes up to the summit of Mount Talak. That photograph's actually Mount Talac right there. We're on our way up. And so we have on our team graduates of Triumph Fitness. They might bring a loved one with them to be there for support. We have other cancer survivors that may join us, or other people that just want to support our organization or just be out in nature with us. And so this is the one thing that we are going to continue doing this summer. And I'm really excited about it because I get to lead all the hikes and they're beautiful. And it's, for me, I love meeting the new people that take on this challenge every year, and seeing them succeed in September when we get to the top of Mount Talac, it's a tough hike, and it's above 9,000 feet. And then it's great that we also have people that will do it 1 year and then they'll come back again. We have one woman, this is going to be her 4th year doing it, and she had never hiked a day in her life before she did this with us 4 years ago, and she comes back every summer now. She's addicted to it. So
this is great. This is good.
Yeah, it's really fun. And for me, it's what I love about it is I don't get the opportunity I'm not a fitness instructor. This is a volunteer job for me, and I love it. I'm an architect. That's what I do for real life. And so I'm not in the exercise classes. I come to the orientations and I go to the graduations and I do everything in between to make sure that our organization runs smoothly. But when it comes to Triumph to the Summit, I am there at every single hike. And so I get that experience of the bonding part of it, which is a huge component of Triumph Fitness. It's like the secret sauce that I didn't realize when I created Triumph Fitness was the opportunity for a survivor to work out with fellow survivors and have that commonality. That it's just like an instant bond when they meet each other at orientation. And it's the same thing with the hiking. And so that's what makes our program so unique, I think, is a lot of people, they come into the fitness program with a bit of trepidation. They don't know what to expect, and they think that, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to keep up with all these people. Well, the program is very gradual and gentle, and then it works into getting people stronger, and it sort of sneaks up on them as they realize how much they've accomplished towards the end. But it's also the being with other survivors, no judgments, the level of understanding that they all have for one another. If somebody's struggling one day, that the other person's got their back. And even in the virtual platform we're in now, we've figured out ways to allow people to connect with one another. And so that aspect of it is just so valuable. And it was something that I never anticipated when I created this. That's come out of it. So
I noticed it says foundation at the end. So there's 2-part question. You have people who are experts at dealing with the physical issues, and so once they go through the Triumph Cancer Foundation physical 12-week signal program, then what happens to them? Can they come back anytime? That kind of question. What is you created the system?
Well, we really only allow someone to go through Triumph Fitness once, because we're a small organization. We offer the program at no cost, but we have costs. Obviously, we have staff to pay, and so we can't give people the opportunity.
Ongoing.
They really want to continue going through the program, but that's why we've created these other ways to stay connected and to stay exercising as a community. So that's, we wish we could offer more people, but the challenge is we're the only organization providing this type of service in the metro area. And so we have a lot of people that need our help. And right now I'm really glad to be talking with you, because I think that when COVID hit, everybody made the assumption out there, the healthcare providers, that weren't providing our services anymore. And of course, what we saw happen with the shutdown was we stopped getting inquiries, and which concerned me a lot, because I know that the cancer diagnoses were still happening and that there were still people that needed our help. So part of it was, I think, also because a lot of the doctor's offices may have kind of shut down for a while, or people were just postponing their doctor's appointments. So we're slowly starting to ramp back up on the inquiries, but right now we still have openings in our Triumph Fitness classes that are starting in September, and we need to start the intake process now for those people, because we have a whole series of forms and paperwork and an assessment process that we have to go through before we can enroll somebody in the program. So
I see. Okay, I get that now. Is one thing that's unsaid here, and I think it's important, is that if you are a foundation, then you really do need money to expand and serve more people, or do programs that well, you pay people to do, who have some expertise in doing that.
yeah.
So how do you raise money?
Well, we have an annual fundraiser, which it's now been through 2 postponements, but it's going to be virtual in September. And it's called Triumph Uncorked. It's usually at a beautiful winery in Amador County, Hellwick Winery, but it's going to be virtual this year. We are the beneficiary of the Shamrockin' event, which was also postponed this year. And so that's supposedly going to be happening at the end of October. I think it's probably going to end up going virtual. I don't know. We're not the organizers of it. They just selected us as the beneficiary. We have sponsors. Triumph to the Summit is all of the hikers have to fundraise for us, and just donations from the general population. But we've been looking for grants, and right now the grant focus is on COVID-19 and other issues, and so it keeps shifting. The money is shifting around, which is making it a little challenging for us. But I'm not a quitter, so
I can see that.
Yeah, I just know that people need our help, and I've jumped over a whole lot of hurdles for the last 15 years to grow this organization, and I've got a great team of people, our instructors and other team members that are involved, and our staff are just amazing people, and we're all committed to moving forward, in just because I know that people need our help. So
I think you are wonderful, and I think your program's great, and we have to wrap it up. We talked our way through the program.
yeah.
Thank you so much for telling me about the Triumph Front Cancer Foundation. And Pamela Whitehead, thank you so much for talking to me on LiveWire.
Thank you, Ray.